What we do here is go back.
Let's begin. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Acting Relic, and thank you for 6 years. So, I've been doing this, well, I say that, but as of writing, it has been quite a while since I received, and I know I'm not crying on camera. I've got something in my eye. It has been quite a while since I actually made proper videos, but it has been 6 years since I uploaded my first proper Let's Play video onto YouTube. So, we're going to do a little bit of a retrospective here and look back upon some content. Here we are inside our videos here and take it all back to where it began. So at time of when this video will probably come out, it's either presently July the 15th or it's after July the 15th. And it has been 6 years since this video released. So let's take a look at it, shall we? So already good start here with our default white text on the main screen. I'm sorry, I'm going to be doing that a lot this video. Just like, there are so many things that I learned to do better in better ways over time as I learned how to record and how to work with stuff. Even now, have trouble because I'm blocking most of my face with my mic here, but you can see my face here. It's just the thing that this microphone works a lot better if you're right up on it. Anyways, what I was going to say is that just you learn so many things as you go through this stuff, and you only learn how to do things well by doing things really poorly for years on end. So yeah, let's just let it rock. Hello and welcome to Acting Relic Plays, as it were. So, last time I recorded Dark Souls 2 footage was when I beat the final boss set with the Throne Watcher and Defender and then Nishandra. And I said that I was going to do full NG Plus playthrough. However, I mistakenly... So, the funny thing about all this is that I'm recording with the same mic as I am now. The main difference is, and I can find it here, just give me a moment. What you can't see in the video is the fact that my microphone stand that I'm using is something that I crafted. See some of it here. Because at the time, I didn't really have any recording equipment at all. Nobody does when they start. Nobody goes into this stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm going to buy a mixer board, a capture card, and a webcam and all this. No. You make it up as you go because most of this stuff starts off as a hobby and you just go into it and just see what you can do. Like, I just got my capture card. I came up with this idea of, well, I'll plug my capture card into my laptop at the time, and then I'll rig off this microphone here is just, you might even be able to see it from, no you can't, I think it's hidden, but this is just a Logitech microphone, but it's off of a Rock Band 2 setup that I bought many years ago for the Xbox 360. So what I did is I dismantled the Rock Band drum kit into a makeshift stand, fed the cable through the bottom of it. The problem is it causes the mic to sit completely upright instead of at an angle like it is now. So that means that you have to stand, or rather sit awkwardly like this and sort of talk down into it, which causes you to do some really weird things with your voice. And also just learning how to talk is one thing, and we'll explore more of that as we go through this. But learning how to properly breathe and often breathe away from a microphone so that you're not directly breathing into it is a completely unique skill that you have to develop over time.
We did not record that.
So we're just going to skip through
One,
some
get
stuff
off
here.
this platform, because in NG Plus you have these stupid falconers who
It's
so nice enough that even in second New Game Plus, those guys are still pretty weak.
and just that speaks to a learning how to talk thing. And it's not even a difference of having a pop filter versus not. It's learning how to phrase your words in such a way that your diction and your clarity in the way that you speak is not as like completely scuffed as it can be, and just learning how to talk. Another thing, like if we go to full screen here, which is actually probably a much nicer experience, this is rendered out at 1080, but it looks like it's rendered out at like 360 because of the box, because I didn't know how to properly move footage around because I was working off of Windows Movie Maker at the time. Which, hey, you know what? If you're ever starting out, start with Windows Movie Maker, and then I don't know if they even publish their software anymore. It might have been just discontinued from Windows 10 and on. But if you start with that and then go to Premiere, you will learn how great Premiere is when you use really terrible video editing software. So anyways, we go through, do a couple different things. I'm terrible at the jumping in Dark 2, and I'm pretty sure.
So, when I said this area was easy, apparently I haven't accounted for my inability to jump small gaps.
Exactly. Thank you, Past Andrew. So yeah, it's one of those things where you try your best to learn how to do stuff, and you steadily get to learn how to do things. One of the biggest things that I have, and we'll tap back here, is that I am surprised at how terrible I was at Dark Souls. And it's not saying that I don't have my points where I'm not doing so well now, but just the general practice that I've had over the years is amazing. But we'll get to that in a sec. But first, let's take a look at this one. This is where our first big change comes in. Still using this default set.
Alright guys, welcome back to Acting Relic Plays Dark Souls 2 NG++. So, a couple things before we begin.
So already, sounds a lot better because I upgraded to, I got my hands on it wasn't even the Yeti at the time, it was just the Snowball. It was just the blue Snowball, that big, I'll put a picture in right here. And as I do the hand gesture, my hand's off camera, so, yeah. It's the circular mic on top of that stand, and that thing holds up pretty well. I think it's starting to show its age now. I don't use it anymore because I have better ones that I could use. But immediately much better because it's not at a weird angle to my face. That speaks to another thing that and it's something I even have trouble with now, is filling dead air and not having pauses that last for like a solid 20 seconds. Is learning how to deliver what you want to say in a very concise manner is something that you only get to after several years of practice. And it's okay to take pauses in your speech, but you have to tactically understand where do you want to take those pauses and how do you want to phrase your speech so that it doesn't sound really awkward at times.
some of you may know about. As I said, lightning and all those good faith talents have been pretty bunch.
Yeah, because I decided to start a Dark Souls playthrough right before patch 1.05 that completely nerfed all miracles into the ground. God. And even watching this footage here, I'll just mute it here. Watching me play, oh boy. Because now that I know how to play it with the sword and shield and whatnot, watching me play spellcasting wise, it's just like, what are you doing? Why aren't you getting in? Why aren't you doing damage? Why do you still continue to use the fire longsword when there are so many other different weapons that you could do, where I could spec into all these different talents and stuff? But yeah, it's just a learning process. So we're getting there. We're starting to learn. Only took us a couple episodes or parts, I should say, to get there. Here's. Do I want that one? No, I think I want this one. Let's go with this one. So here we have. I finally decided, hey, what? If I was to have sort of a channel logo, what would it be? Well, I really like the image of Hamlet with the skull. Let's go with that. So I found like just this clip art image of Hamlet with the skull and be like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, let's rock with that. Is there actually commentary in this one? Or it might be right. Yeah, there were times where I just didn't feel, and that's a big thing now. That's part of the reason that I take such weird long breaks at some points, is that I'll get to these points where I just don't feel like recording, or I want to record but I don't want to talk. So there were times early on where I would just record without talking and just try and play the game, which oftentimes led to slightly better gameplay, because I was completely focused on just doing the best I could. As I say that, what the hell am I doing with... Oh, gosh. Watching me play Souls from 4 years ago it's a little painful. It's a little painful to watch. I think the worst is we'll skip a few ahead here. Let's keep going. There it is. That's the one.
Alright. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Acting Relic Plays Dark Souls 2.
Completely just tapping all over the mic and stuff. Oh boy. The King's Realm, where Velstad is. This is one of the most painful ones to me. Is watching me fight Velstad in this encounter is... Oh, it's so... Because now after many attempts and working and learning Velstad, and how much better it is to just fight him sword and shield wise, and how much more damage you do, and just how much better the fight can be if you're not standing over here just throwing spellcasting at it. Oh, it's so... But we're learning. We're learning how we want to do stuff. So we'll skip ahead slightly.
And also a bit of a review of it. So, for those who don't know, this is Halo Reach on the Xbox 360 console.
So, I want to set the stage for what this video actually is. At this point in time, this is October of 2014. I was in university at this point, and we were tasked with a project that we had to go through the user experience of a certain product or service or something like that. So I decided to do it on Halo Reach, one of my favorite games of the time, and still holds up really well. I really need to get the PC copy to play around with it.
Go through the story and see how the planet of Reach is defended as best it could. Matchmaking, where you can go onto online servers and compete against other players around the
So I believe I had a script of some type. Type? What is that word? That's not a word. Type. To go through and discuss some of these points. You can hear me attempting to, because one of the other things is that you have to learn how to establish just the setup that you work with for recording purposes. Now I have a decent one where I have a proper webcam in front of me, I have 2 monitors, I have a microphone on a proper extended arm so it can be fitted up to my face, all these different things. When you're just starting out, you're just like trying to figure it out. So I'm on a couch with a laptop and a snowball mic just trying to fumble through things, and I got my papers all over the place.
the world. Well, you can drive certain vehicles. Theater mode is for those like myself who like to create YouTube content and other videos.
That's not what theater was for. Theater mode was for either capturing clips or working on machinima projects, to be honest. Though it is pretty cool mode.
The week that people have built. And I would say it's one of the best online.
So, anyways, it was a semi-review of the thing, but also talking about a certain aspects of the functionality, because that was part of what we were studying at the time, was functionality and flow of how somebody goes through a product or service. Yeah. And then we got all the way to December with I started playing Destiny. And then I think, yeah, that's about all for 2014 and the start of things. I'm going to pull up this video because it's hilarious, and I find it really funny because it reminds me of just times with my friends. Again, like working with what I had, just learning how to do stuff. So
Something go wrong.
My good friend Ben using the camera to create a thing. But that's not the good one. The good one is right about here.
Yes.
Because my good friend Simon, who is a genius, he is amazingly creatively comedic on the spot, and I really wish I had his talent for doing this. So he comes up with this idea. Let's take a photo of I have baby pictures on the wall of my house at the time for recording purposes. So he decides, hey, will the camera accept this? What happens if we do this? It's too funny. I really enjoyed that. Anyways, so I think that about ends. Right, 2014 properly ends with doing a semi-speed run of Revengeance. And God, I was looking at some of it, and some of it's not bad, but then other parts are like, oh boy, I should have practiced for this. I should have practiced for this a lot.